tutorial, I'm going to walk you through how to very simply set up what's known as a dynamic search ad. So we're going to come over to our general search terms campaign here, and you should already have this set up. So once we click into that, what we're going to do now is we want to create a new ad group. Now there are a variety of different ways that you can create these ads in terms of whether you create them in their own campaign or as part of as an ad group in another campaign. And I will talk a bit more about that later on in the course. But for this example, I'm just going to show you the most basic way to set this up so that you understand how they work. So we're going to click on the new button here to add a new ad group. And before we go any further, you can actually see here at the top, we've got the ad group type. So we want to click on this little drop down button here and we want to select dynamic. And it's going to change the ad group type. Yes, that's what we want. So click continue. And this brings us into the dynamic search ad setup. So the first thing we need to do is we need to add in our URL. So let's copy and paste that from our site. And here you can select the language that you want it to be shown in. So that's fine. We're going to just update that. And then for the ad group name, I'm just going to quite simply call this dynamic ad. Let's spell that right, dynamic ad. Okay, so here we've got a number of options. Now what we can do is we can target specific URLs on your site, and that can be really, really useful. But I'm going to show you why that's useful later on. For now, quite simply, and with our account being so young, I'm just going to go ahead and set it up for all web pages. So let's save that and continue. Oh, I'm not sure why it's coming up as that. Let's try that. Okay, save and continue. Let's try it without that. Excellent. Okay, so what you'll see here now is you have got a final URL which is dynamically generated by the landing page. You've got a headline, which again is automatically generated, and the display URL, which it's going to take directly from your site. So the only thing we need to add in here are descriptions. Because we're setting this up for all pages, we want to use quite sort of general description about what the organisation does and the work that we do. So as we spoke about previously, we're just going to take some information or some copy directly from the website because Google likes that. So I'm just going to pop in some copy here. So just remember to capitalize each word. Google really favors that as they think it looks better. So we're just going to do that. And we need a second description. So we're just going to grab something else from the site here. So let's see what we can bring up. Let's have a look. Okay, bear with me one moment. Should have had this copy ready. Okay, here we are. So I'm just going to add in this line because I like that. So let's add that one in. Okay, and again, we'll just capitalise everything so that it's in line with best practice from Google. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, but you get the picture. So that's fine. So we would go ahead and we would just add in all of these capitalizations and make sure that that is in line with best practice with Google. And that is pretty much all we need to do. So let's just finish that off. And let's take out that comma at the end because that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we now have, you can see here in the preview what that would potentially look like. And so we've got then our site extensions, all of our extensions here, so we can choose any of those that we want to include or not include. We're going to click done there, and we're going to click save and continue. And that then is your dynamic search ad setup. So what we would do is we would then allow this to run, and we would see what sort of, using the search term reports, what sort of searches are coming through as a result of that ad. And that would be then when you would need to decide if you wanted to split this ad or create separate ad groups based on the different URLs of your page, so that you can get a bit more granular and relevancy with the descriptions that you're using, to make sure people are aware of the information that they're going to find when they click through from the ad. But dynamic search ads are a wonderful way of really boosting account performance and boosting spend. So they're a great way of getting your account up and running and off the ground.